I've wanted to come to this place for 30 years. Today, that wait ends. This is the largest northern gannet colony in North America. The story begins in the little town of Perce, right on the eastern edge of the province of Quebec. The pierced rock. In fact, the name comes from Samuel de Champlain, who discovered this place for the French back in the early 1600s, 1609, I think. Don't hold me to that. That's the Gulf of St. Lawrence out there. You go 230 miles about that way, you're in Newfoundland. Got about 100 miles that way, you're in Prince Edward Island. So the Rock and Bonaventure are a Quebec National Park, and it makes sense that a tourism community would pop up around it. In fact, this is one of the cutest little tourism communities I've been in. La Maison du Pêcheur. Best chowder I ever had. Canadians are really gonna laugh at my French accent. Before we head out to Bonaventure Island, let's get a closer look at Le Rocher Perce, up there by the cross on the hill. Is there anything this place doesn't have? Look at all those common eiders. And there's no shortage of black scoters. I know this is just the appetizer, but look at those gannets fly by the rock. Well, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. There are razorbills. There are common murres up there on the ledge too. Yep, grasslands, oceanside, just where you would expect savanna sparrow. And another cool thing about birding up here in front of the rock, there's 4 different species of swallows swirling around. Bank, cliff, tree, and barn. All just swirling around together. You know, all my life I've been looking at pictures of the White Cliffs of Dover, the Isles of Scotland, the sheep farms atop cliffs in Ireland, and thinking, wouldn't it be cool to go there? And then I look at this and say, I don't have to go that far. I mean, even the starlings are European. All right, that's my boat down there. Let's head that way, but I think I have time to hit the town. Long-tailed duck in summer plumage. I don't get to see them like this all that much. For me, they're winter white. That's my boat. Actually, better put my windproof hat on. We're underway. There won't be a lot of talking in this boat. The captain narrates everything in French and then again in English, and the engine noise is too loud and the sea breeze will blow away any microphone I own. We'll just run over to Perce Rock and then cross the mile to Bonaventure Island. The rock is home to nesting razorbills, common murres, black guillemots, and double-crested cormorants. And it looks like there are a few nesting great cormorants up on top. It doesn't take long to understand why this is one of the most important nesting islands in the world. Bonaventure Island became a designated bird sanctuary in 1919. It was made a Quebec National Park 59 years ago. We're still a half-mile away, but the cloud of birds is obvious and growing. Most of Canada's black-legged kittiwakes are right here in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. The kittiwakes, razorbills, and murres nest on the ledges of these 300-foot tall cliffs where no predator dares to go. The Northern Gannets are the largest birds in the North Atlantic, and they own the ledges that are wide enough for them to nest on. The gannets favor the eastern cliffs since they face the morning sun and warm up faster. They're the biggest birds, so they nest wherever they want. Believe it or not, we're going up there. We'll go around the corner, land on the dock, and walk uphill.
And thank you for coming with us. Thanks again. We wish you a good day.
Come for the gannets, stay for the warblers. This trail so far has given me at least 4, probably 5 Tennessee warblers and a whole cluster of bay-breasted warblers, and we're just getting started. Kills me to get this far into Canada because all those northern birds I lust after in Maine are clustered in here. I've had like 20 Tennessee warblers. I've had at least a dozen bay-breasted warblers, several fox sparrows singing. Love this place. Pine siskins courting, blue-headed and red-eyed vireos, making lots of noise. Up here it's all Swainson's thrushes, not a single hermit thrush to my ear so far today. Right, this may be a little weird, but I'm going to sit right here with them and tell you all about Northern Gannets because I'm just 5 feet away. There are 32 nesting colonies of Northern Gannets in Europe. There's only 6 in North America, and this is the biggest. Probably about 120,000 Northern Gannets here, give or take 3. The second biggest is Cape St. Mary's in Newfoundland, but I got to tell you, this one kicks Newfoundland's butt, and don't tell them I said that. Cape St. Mary, there's sort of a gulf, a big precipice between you and the actual colony. These guys, you can just sit with. Technically, the largest Northern Gannet colony is over in Scotland, but this one is growing and getting close. It may even have surpassed it. I'll say it's the second biggest in the world for now. Supposedly these guys are nearly the size of an albatross. It's the largest thing in the North Atlantic. And they're only in the North Atlantic. To say the least, if you got this many birds, they're good at something. Northern Gannets have great eyesight and they watch each other. So when it's feeding time out to sea, they'll look around right to the horizon to see where flocks of birds are feeding, and then they'll go join the party. Gannets plunge dive from as high as 100 feet or even higher. They can dive 72 feet underwater. When you're diving from that height and splashing into the water, how much force is hitting your head? So they have special adaptations. Their eyes are protected from that plunge. Their nostrils are inside their mouth. And of course, when they dive, they don't have their mouths open. One thing about these guys, they really don't like really deep water. You don't find them out in the open ocean. You find them along the continental shelf, all the way from their nesting colonies up here to maybe the Carolinas. A few get into the Gulf of Mexico. I'm sorry, Gulf of America. Northern Gannets mate for life, and they come back to the exact same nesting spot every year, and they can live for 35 years. It takes them at least 4, maybe 5 years to reach maturity enough to even fight for a nesting spot, but by that point they're adults and they really argue it out. Now I'm here right in mid-June, so they haven't laid their nest yet. In fact, what you're seeing is males bringing back seaweed for that nest, offering it to the female, and remember, they're already mated. And all they really do is keep up that courtship pattern by doing these sword fights. And sometimes they'll grab her by the neck, which I'm sure is affectionate. They only lay 1 egg a year, and if that egg doesn't make it right away, they might start again, but that's it. They lose a whole nesting season if things go wrong a second time. Fortunately, they live up to around 35 years, so they got plenty of time to try again. Takes a long time to raise a chick from an egg, up to 3 months before it's ready to leave the nest, and then it's able to glide down and start a life of its own. Once it leaves the nest, parents have nothing more to do with it. Bird has enough baby fat to survive 2 to 3 weeks, and by that time, he better figure out how to feed himself. As I understand it, gannet comes from an old English word, gannot, or gannot, G-A-N-O-T, and it means strong or masculine. Okay. Wikipedia says that it comes from the same Germanic root for gander, your male goose. And if Wikipedia says it, it must be true. Once they're all done nesting, they're in no rush to go south. They'll just forage all over the Gulf of St. Lawrence, all over the Gulf of Maine, all around the waters of Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, right down past Maine, and just keep going down the coast at a leisurely pace. I have seen them off the coast of Maine in January, so not that big a rush. Most of them get back here in May. Once they get to 3 or 4 years old, they are then ready to compete for a nesting spot in all of this, and they fight. They can be quite brutal about it. Poking each other, wrestling each other, beating the crap out of each other if that's what it takes. It's not pretty. It's exciting. Both the male and female take care of the chicks, and they take turns going out to bring back food, which they regurgitate for the entire feeding period. They also have to defend the youngster because the neighbors want as much room for their youngster as possible, and it's rather common to just grab your neighbor by the throat and throw it off the cliff. These guys are not kind to each other. So, you got a name? So what's your favorite place for seafood around here? Gotta tell you, I thought this place would smell worse. But the walk back to the dock is still surprisingly birdy. It's mid-afternoon and the birds are still singing. I never thought I would be in a place where the most common warbler was Tennessee. The island is not quite done with us yet. Hundreds of razorbills and common murres are zipping by the pier. I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Why did it take me 30 years to do this?